particular APC that we kept on hearing the chanting today does not fall within the interpretation of the Supreme Court. Therefore, we will be encouraging the party to take the necessary steps, not because we are against our members, but so that we can further continue to entrench democracy. When people elect you on a particular platform to represent them, that seat does not belong to you. That seat belongs to your constituency. So it is important that this position is stated clearly and that we put it to rest. I want to say that in spite of the movement of about 36 members, I think, 4 of whom went to ADC in Oyo State, and the remainder 32 to PDP, I want to say, and I believe there was one resignation thereafter without a party as of yet, I want to say, and repeat here to Nigerians, that not only does APC remain the majority in the House, APC is actually, it's not a slim majority, a clear, overwhelming majority. I believe those who wanted to be defected were looking for about 60 members, and they got half, about 32, which leaves APC over and beyond what is required for a majority. Let me very quickly, on behalf of our members, also congratulate Mr. President, the party chairman, the party leaders, for remaining committed to the welfare of this country, for piloting this country in spite of everything, in spite of the naysayers, the grassroots, the people who we represent through the various programs of the party and Mr. President, the various interventions that remain unspoken. These people have remained committed to the party, as was evidenced in the last elections in Ekiti. I want to say again, once again, that on behalf of all the APC members of the House of Representatives, we will continue to do the bidding of the people. We will continue to do the bidding of this country, in spite of whatever shenanigans might be going on politically. Every 4 years we witness this. They say survival, sometimes they say survival is the first instinct of every human being. So every 4 years, everybody is in search of a ticket. And I believe that is the bottom line here of what has happened. And that is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But having said that, we want to declare here on behalf of every single member that remains, and including the Speaker, and his deputy, and the leadership of the House on the side of the APC, who remain with us, who have piloted the affairs of this House, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, the Chief Whip on my right-hand side, the Deputy Chief Whip, that we will continue to do what we were elected to do, both by our constituents and by the members on the floor of the House. Thank you very much.
And really should also enable certain persons who wish to take laws into their hands to apply restraint in their decisions. Because, for instance, to barricade the house of the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, and attempt to discourage principal officers from going to do their legitimate business when Nigerians have voted for them. I mean, it's something that must not only be investigated so that the culprits can be brought to book, but must be condemned. So what has happened in the Senate today is a usual movement that sometimes senators move from one point to the other. But for me as a minority leader, to suddenly wake up to see that we are in the majority today, I have received this new position with humility. And I'm very humbled that my colleagues have the confidence to do what they have done. And I can assure them that they are not only welcome in the PDP, but they will have equal rights with the existing members of the PDP. And I've been talking with the leadership, luckily the national chairman is here, and I said that every single person who comes to join us may not mention automatic ticket, but will have a right to fly the flag of the party in the next election in 2019. But we must say that the reality is that I've just seen a news report that the barricade that was raised this morning in the house of the Senate President and Deputy Senate President and some principal officers of the National Assembly, that was not authorized. Well, I don't know, it wasn't that it did not happen, but that it was not authorized. And therefore, it will be need to call for a major investigation to find out who authorized it. If the authorities are saying that it wasn't authorized, then somebody must have authorized it. And that person must be an enemy of democracy. Because what the person has tried to do is to paint Nigeria in bad light. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. It's to paint Nigeria in bad light. So if it wasn't authorized, then definitely we must see. I don't want to use the word that hate should rule, but I would rather say let us get to the bottom of it so that we can uncover those who perpetrated the act and let them be punished before all Nigerians, so that the confidence of the international community will be brought back. That yes, indeed, we respect the separation of powers, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. But I welcome my colleagues from the other side to join the umbrella. The umbrella is large enough to cover everybody. Thank you. Yes.
You have PDP as the majority.
Yes.
Now, what is going to happen to your status? Being the minority leader.
Are you listening to him? He asked me that how come my status has changed from minority leader to majority leader? Is that what he's going to say? And really also enable certain persons.
To the Senate President. Dear Senate President, after due consultation with our constituents and stakeholders in our constituency, in proper recognition of Section 681G of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for the fact of our party, the All Progressives, is hereby majority faction, we hereby inform the Senate that we, the undersigned, Senator Dine Milai Kogi West, Senator Benade Gebas Ganade, Benue State, Senator Ibrahim Dembaba, Sokoto State, Senator Shaba Lafa Jikwara North, Senator Mohamed Shitu Jigawa, Senator Rafi Ibrahim Kwara South, Senator Unkui Kaduna North, Senator Isa Haman Bauchi Central, Senator Mosura Sumoni Oyo Central, Senator Shoji Akombi Oyo South, Senator Usman Bayo Nafada Gombe North, Senator Musa Kwankoso Kano Central, Senator Nazif Bauchi North, Senator Len Wadi Tejoshu Ogun Central, hereby informed that we don't sign a changing our political affiliation from the All Progressives Congress to the People's Democratic Party. We thank you for your exemplary leadership, as always. Yours sincerely. Letter from the Chief Whip. Invitation to a public lecture. I write to inform you that I will be the guest lecturer at the public lecture in honor of Dr. B.G.K. Ajayi and Ibadan Medical School at 70 scheduled to hold as follows: Wednesday, 25th July 2018. Venue, Paul Hendrick Lecture Theatre, College of Medicine, University College Hospital, Ibadan. Time, 10 a.m. The title of the lecture is Averting the Approaching Gales. I am extending the invitation to Your Excellency and all distinguished signatories to be my guests at the lecture. Kindly receive my chances of the best regard. Chief Whip. Letter to the Senate President. Dear Senate President, after due consultation with our constituents and stakeholders in our constituency, in proper recognition of Section 681G of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for the fact of our party, the All Progressives, is hereby majority faction, we hereby inform the Senate that we undersign Senator Dine Milai Kogi West, Senator Benade Gebas Ganade, Benue State, Senator Ibrahim Dembaba, Sokoto State, Senator Shaba Lafa Jikwara North, Senator Mohamed Shitu Jigawa, Senator Rafi Ibrahim Kwara South, Senator Unkui Kaduna North.
Well, my attitude is clear. I have told you before. As the national chairman, I'm committed to listening to every legitimate grievances and engaging all those who are aggrieved, that we can see through their grievances. But I insist that I will not miss a sleep 1 minute over mercenary activities. I had said, and I want to repeat, this business of governance must be driven by men and women of honor. If the only motivation is personal interest, what is in it for me? What have I gained? How many people have I do X, Y, Z for? If that is the basis, the earlier those who are in this business for those personal gain, the earlier they return to where they belong, the better. Here is not worried at all. We are not disturbed. I'm not going to miss my sleep. And we will go in for the campaign. Check the electoral result. You will find that a lot of those who claim to have the camp, on a good day, the vote they got that makes them members of the Senate. Our president got much more vote in their constituency. So we are not fooled at all. You know, the thing going on is that, you have a lot of so-called big masquerades with very little or no electoral value. I've done my best, which I think I needed to do, to give people comfort, if those who claim to be aggrieved, or those who have other hidden agenda that are not negotiable. I am not going to be able to appeal to anyone who expected X level of return and the system is not delivering it in terms of personal returns.
And I want to congratulate heroes of this democracy and the defender of democracy. The Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the Speaker, Senators, and members of House of Representatives are the defenders and heroes of democracy in Nigeria. And so we congratulate them and congratulate all Nigerians and their constituencies for defending democracy in Nigeria. I believe on behalf of the party, the PDP, we welcome all our members. They will have equal rights with the other members of our party. Our party is free and democratic. We believe that the assault on the National Assembly, the early hours of this morning, was assault on Nigerians. And so our leaders must stand up and defend democracy. And of course, as you know, technically, the APC government has collapsed. We call on President Buhari to defend democracy. The assault on democracy in Nigeria must not be tolerated, either on the legislature or other structures of the executive arms to the state level or on the judiciary. We must be a country that must defend the rule of law. What happened this morning was sad, but to God be the glory that the Senate and the House of Representatives are matured, and the men and women that was chosen by our country to represent us at National Assembly had done us proud, and they have defended democracy. There is no amount of intimidation, there is no amount of harassment and frame-up that will work. Can you imagine this morning the entire premises of the resident of the Senate President and the resident of the Deputy Senate President was barricaded, took over by the security, the police? For what? Is that the rule of law? The second arm of government, the executive are using their powers, the executive order 6, to harass and intimidate our legislators. This is not the kind of democracy that we want in this country. And we are coming out by the grace of God, because we know that God has left the APC government. They should be warned that you cannot kill and you cannot harass, and it will not be long. The eyes of God is upon this nation. The eyes of the international community is also upon this nation. The harassment has gotten into a new dimension where the APC government and the president want to claim that they must dictate. We are not in dictatorial government. We are not in the military government. We are in for democracy, and it must be practiced like every other world-recognized democracy. We thank Nigerians, we thank our people in the Senate and the House of Representatives for standing in for democracy. Thank you, and God bless all Nigerians.